Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? It is the Herder of Buffalo here again. Just see a bit of American accent coming in there. I can't help it. I watch too many American YouTube commentators. But hey, it is the Herder of Buffalo, and this is a MOAB gameplay from Kill Confirmed Hardhat. This gameplay, I'm going to just say it now, it wasn't the most exciting game, but I just thought 4 videos in, and we haven't seen one MOAB yet. I know I said I don't really want to be uploading MOABs 24/7. I don't want to be uploading MOABs 24/7. But this is just one, just to give you an idea of the best way to play Hard Hat and to get a good score out of it. Because if I'm going to be honest with you, Hard Hat is a map that I usually tend to skip when it comes up. Unless it's Hard Hat or Downturn, I'll probably pick Hard Hat in that instance. But apart from that, Hard Hat is never really played by the Buffalo. So it was one of those unfortunate moments when we got in the lobby. We were like, oh, should we leave? Oh yeah, I forgot we don't leave games, so we didn't leave. But we carried on playing, and I just thought I'd try out a new gun because I was certain I wasn't gonna do very well when this map came up. So I was like, yeah, why don't I try out the P90? I don't really use it that often. Let's see what I can do with it. And this was a real good game with the P90. That death there was taken from the L118A with extended mags. That guy, he was pretty clever. He knew where I was going to be. He knew the spots in which people sit on this map to get the kills. And let's be honest, all of the traffic on Hardhat is operating down that middle section of the map. So my advice is, if you are playing in a team, just try to lock down that central section of the map, because let's be serious, you will get many a kill coming through that tunnel. Because if you're here, those guys are going to be spawning mainly C domination. So, you're going to want to have this area on lockdown so that you can keep them away from your B flag. This is mainly for domination. But, it works the same in Kill Confirm because the spawns are pretty similar. So, in terms of kills as well as, just maintaining position, it's a very, very good spot to keep. As we can see here, we've got a lot of my teammates just sitting in and around this area because, let's be honest, we don't really need to push. It's early on in the game. We're just building up kills and just building up streaks, because Kill Confirm, when you've got your streaks up, like your Pavlos, your Reapers and everything, that is when the kills start to flow, and that is when you begin to pick up dog tags and recover from losing positions if you are losing. But luckily for us in this game, the other team weren't all that strong, so we were never really in a position where we felt vulnerable with our score. We just kept plowing through it, and some of you may hate on the fact that I'm not really playing the objective and picking up dog tags, but do you really need to pick up a dog tag if you are that far ahead? Why not prolong the game? If you're quite certain you're going to win, which, without being too cocky, we were pretty certain we were going to win this game. We had strong players in with us, and the stats of the other team didn't really show us any signs of being, too scared. But I just want to give a couple of call-outs. We have had some really, really good ground war games in the last couple of days against a couple of big clans. N-Star E was a 9-man clan that me and my teammates played against. That was a good game. We did win, but it was very close and very, really, really competitive. But the main shout out I have to give out is probably for the best game I've actually played in terms of excitement and end-to-end stuff. It was against the Bird clan with Gaz One Ball. Just a shout out to him if he does see this video. Real strong clan, and I hope you guys do well. But that was a great game. That really was a great game. But anyway, more about this gameplay. The P90 Silence MOAB Hardhat by FPS Buffalo. It's a slow gameplay, so I do apologize, guys, but it does begin to just get a bit more interesting now that I actually decide to move out from the middle, because I realized that these guys were getting used to the fact that every time they walk through the tunnel, they're not going to get anything. So they didn't really do that very much anymore. They just tended to sit at the back, camp it out, eat their, I don't know, dinner, pizza, Chinese, Indian takeaways. You know what these guys eat. So I just decided to go around, and in the process of that, it just made this gameplay a little more interesting. So we can see here that the attack heli is firing around this area, so I thought I'd just go and hoover up any extras that don't get picked up, because occasionally the attack heli is off with its fire. So if you do see someone in a secluded area of a map being shot by an attack heli, unless you see it appear on the kill feed, follow it up, because the chances are it may have missed it, or the other person may have gone undercover. But just quickly as well, just a big shout out to some of my school friends, as I decided to let the whole Facebook world be aware of the fact that I'm into this Call of Duty YouTube thing. And I expected a bit of hate from some of my friends, because unless you really like this game, some people may see the idea of doing YouTube channels just for Call of Duty as being a bit sad. And guys, I don't think this is sad. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and I've met a lot of new people on PlayStation Network. So I'll just take this time to mention a few of those: Disturbed Duck, XXI Joe, XI Brandon, MUFC, Reese the Worthless Ridley, and many, many more. I'm sorry if I missed you out, guys. These are just the first people that came to my head at that time. But yeah, PSN, Power of PlayStation Network. It makes you friends as well as having a good time. And I speak to these guys on Skype quite a lot, and we have a good laugh. Joe Lakey, I have to say sorry to Joe, because he does often bear the brunt, of a lot of the banter, because he's an Essex guy, and the Essex accent is one that we all desire. So Joe, you are such a goon. Yeah, I won't say any more, because he probably will end up coming and finding me and killing me. But yeah, this gameplay is beginning to get closer to the point of the MOAB. When I say closer, we are still a couple of minutes away. But the anticipation of the Buffalo when he gets on a big kill streak. He goes into sweaty mode. He decides that, he needs to start shaking. His bones need to get frail. And, it feels as if my body is about to detach itself from the whole world. Because, my eyes decide to go on walkabouts. I shake. It sounds really, really silly and stupid. But, I get really, really, when I get close to a MOAB, I just get really funny. And we can see here, this is the moment where it comes. 24 kill streak. Dun dun dun. Beast mode. MOAB comes there, and I call it in straight away. And look at that. Fire the bullet. Too much excitement. So by this point, the reaction on the mic was pretty good. My teammates know that a Buffalo MOAB is something that doesn't come around too often. So we're having a little bit of a party right now. Just no party poppers or party rings or anything. Just happiness, really. But yeah, from now I do pick up I think it's in a couple of minutes, I pick up an MK46. This is a gun that I'm trying to actually get some gameplay with at the moment. I've been trying it out, haven't really got that much luck with it so far. I'm not really pulling many games over a 2KD with this gun, just simply because, I'm not used to using the light machine guns. I've never really used it on either Black Ops, MW2, or this game at all up until now. So, I'm just giving it a go, and hopefully soon, one day, some good gameplay will come with it, and I'll upload it with you, because I can see from watching a lot of YouTube channels that there is a lack of light machine gun gameplay. So I'll try to bring you guys some of that, just to give you a bit more help as to the best way to use these guns and the best way to play the maps when you're using these guns, because a lot of the maps on this game are small maps, and I'm not even sure of the answer. Are light machine guns for small maps, or are they for the bigger maps? That's a question I'm not really aware of the answer myself. But anyway, guys, that is something for another day. Right now, I'm just gonna. This was the time I was just enjoying my Reaper. Look at that, it was so bad. Only got 2 kills with it, which is very surprising for the Reaper. But I was happy. I knew this. At this point, I didn't think I was gonna die again. I was pretty sure, because the other team had decided that they'd had enough and they were gonna leave as per usual. So we were just left with a couple of other guys, and it was just, they were just coming back for us, because they didn't really know. And I think in the end it actually ended up being just the one guy, some Robbie kid who went 3-39 or whatever it was. Well played, Robbie. You decided to stay, and you lost properly rather than losing by just deciding to leave and be a cheat, an annoying little bastard. But that is the nature of the beast. Sometimes you get into lobbies against players who they only want to play this game for the KD, not the win-loss, which is really disappointing, really, because win-loss is just as big as KD, if not bigger, in my opinion. So you guys out there who are dashboarding, yes, it doesn't give you an official loss. Well, it does give you an official loss. It doesn't affect your win streak, but do you really want a win streak of 200 when you really know that you've only actually won about 5 games in a row. You've just decided to quit the rest of them. So this gameplay is coming to an end, guys. It's just going to cut off because I can't do over 10 minutes and so many seconds yet. But thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe if you do, and just want to say thanks again to all my school friends for your subs and your likes.